My name is Brian Smith, and I'm from AirPros USA, and we are proud to be a BBB accredited business. We're in 7 states, 15 locations across the country, so a lot in Florida, but we're also in Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Colorado, Washington. About 2.5 years. Prior experience with a company called CSC Service Works, which you've probably never heard of. They are the largest provider of technology and laundry facilities in the country. Yeah, that was a great experience. I was in the Atlanta area for a couple of years before coming here. And prior to that, I was with Iron Mountain for a stint and Staples and UPS. I've seen both sides, a well-running, massive corporation, a la UPS, a startup that blossomed huge, Staples.
I didn't know Staples was a startup.
That was actually a startup back in the early 90s. Back then, the Office Depot, Staples, both were really racing at the time to grow their operations. But yeah, it was a startup, yeah. Probably a little bit along the line of perspective, experience, standards. I'm not young. I've seen a lot of different things that have worked and didn't work in companies. I've seen how maturity in an organization can help, business experience can help the organization step out of the, not hit a pothole, not step on the proverbial landmine. There's a lot of things that, we all learned in our careers that you don't realize you've learned until all of a sudden someone says, hey, let's try this. And you're like, not that it's not going to work, but you give a little bit different perspective on doing something. That coming to AirPros is a young company. I mean, Anthony did a phenomenal job starting this organization 6 years ago. It's still a young company. There's still things that I honestly take for granted that we're still implementing, starting, and thinking about. And I just bring that perspective here of like, hey, try this, don't try this, be careful of this area, get clarification on something if you want to try that, might be a little different than you've done before. Yes, I'm married. I married the proverbial college sweetheart. Two kids, 125 and 120. So we one off the payroll and one in school up in New York. I heard this in the past and it really applied. Like I try and take my family learnings and bring it to work, and my work learnings and bring it to my family. Father was a drill instructor in the Army, very straight to the point and direct. I probably rubbed off on me too. I'm straight to the point and direct. Honesty was huge. Integrity was huge, not only just in my family, but just the environment I was in, whether it was school, sports played a massive role in my life. Just, being a part of a team, being part of a group and doing everything you had, but doing it right. It's something probably intrinsic in me about, we'll go to the ethics side, cheating, shortcuts, getting somewhere unearned. And it's just never resonated into me. And passing it on to my kids, hey, working hard, doing it right, doing it ethically, challenging yourself, but don't take shortcuts, pass that along. And I'd like to think my kids are becoming successful and it's rubbed off on them. But I'll tell you, Mrs. Smith has rubbed off on me huge in my life, where, just straight up ethical and straight on everything. And I just remember as a kid, if you lied, oh boy, parents didn't take that well. So that rubbed off on me. It's funny. I was literally just talking to our previous CEO. I said the question to him. I said, what do you think? And he's just like, it's just how we naturally operate and work. Formal training, it's great to get reminders, reinforcements. We do that with the employees as well. It's not just myself, it's everybody. We'll call it mandatory training across the board annually. But it's, I listen to things that happen in not only our industry, but other industries, the headlines, the business page. It makes you step back sometimes when you see like companies do things and you're like, what were you thinking? On the ethics side, the Enrons of the world, there's for every Enron of the world that's a headline, there's 1,000 other ones that are doing, you just don't hear about it. Like, yeah. What are you thinking of? Money has a funny way of doing things to people, companies, trying to answer to shareholders. When I was at Staples, and one of the things I really liked working with the old CEO there, he got this, straight answers. They might not wanted to hear that,
Yeah.
but they got it straight anyway, because you can't address a situation unless you really understand the situation and all the variables to it. There's a lot of things that you can do, but hey, look, do the right thing. You can never go wrong with the right thing. Yes, it might not help you in the bottom line. Maybe, there's a lot of people that do a lot of shortcuts out there to increase their bottom line and do things. But like, look, the last thing you want to be is your reputation. As soon as you're labeled unethical, you're done. My name's Brian Smith from Air Pros USA, and we are this year's Large Business Torch Award winner.